It's 4 a.m. The world is asleep. Your phone isn't blowing up. There are no demands, no interruptions, no noise. Just you and 5 hours of silence that most people never even know exist. This is your edge. While everyone else hits snooze and surrenders the first hours of their day to chaos, you're going to build something different. A war room routine. A morning so intentional, so focused, that by the time the rest of the world starts moving, you're already 10 steps ahead. This isn't about suffering through an early alarm. It's about claiming the one resource nobody can take from you: your time, your mind, and your direction. So settle in, because we're about to walk through the routine that can change everything.
Chapter 1. Why 4 a.m. is a power move. Let's start with the why, because if you don't believe in the purpose behind waking at 4 a.m., you won't do it past day 3. Here's the truth most people miss. Your morning doesn't start when you wake up. It starts the night before, in the decisions you make, the intentions you set, and the space you clear for the next day. But we'll get to that. For now, let's talk about what makes 4 a.m. special. Between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., cortisol, your body's natural alertness hormone, begins its daily rise. Your brain is moving from deep sleep into lighter, more active states. If you catch this window before the distractions hit, you get access to something rare: clean mental bandwidth. No one's emailing you at 4 a.m. No news cycle is pulling your attention. No social media algorithm is competing for your focus. It's just you, your goals, and the quiet.
High performers across history have understood this. Military leaders, world-class athletes, and top executives don't rise early because they hate sleep. They rise early because they understand that the first hours of the day set the tone for everything that follows. A reactive morning creates a reactive day. A proactive morning creates momentum that carries you through. Your war room routine is built on one principle: win the morning and the day follows.
Chapter 2. 4 a.m. The Wake Protocol. Your alarm goes off. This is the moment of truth. Here's what most people do. They negotiate with themselves. 5 more minutes. Then 10. Then 20. Before they know it, the morning is gone and the day owns them. Here's what you're going to do instead. You're going to use the 5-second rule. The moment your alarm goes off, you count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you move. No thinking, no deliberating, just movement. The negotiation never ends in your favour. The mind will always find a reason to stay comfortable. You have to act before it gets the chance. First thing you do when your feet hit the floor, don't touch your phone. Not yet. That device is a portal to everyone else's agenda, and right now, you're working on yours.
Instead, walk to your bathroom and splash cold water on your face. Then drink a full glass of water. You've been asleep for 6 or more hours. Your body is dehydrated, your brain is sluggish, and water is the fastest, cheapest performance upgrade available to you. Next, do 5 minutes of light movement. This isn't a workout, it's a signal to your nervous system that the day has started. Stretching, a short walk around the house, and a few jumping jacks. Whatever gets the blood moving. You're telling your body, we're on. Now, here's something that separates the serious from the casual. Make your bed. Right now, before anything else. It sounds small, but there's a reason it's one of the most talked about habits of high achievers. It's your first win. A made decision, a completed action. Proof that you're in control. It sets a tone of discipline that echoes through the rest of the morning. By 4:20 a.m., you're awake, hydrated, and moving. The war room is officially open.
Chapter 3. 4:20 a.m.
silence and centering. Now you enter the first real block of your war room routine, stillness. This is where most goal chasers trip up. They equate productivity with activity, so the moment they're awake, they're doing, planning, consuming. But the most powerful thing you can do in these early minutes is nothing. Sit down somewhere quiet. No phone, no TV, no podcast. Just you and the silence. For 10 minutes, practice what we'll call intentional breathing. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, breathe out for 6. Do this slowly, deliberately. Feel your chest and your shoulders drop. You're calming the stress response, clearing mental clutter, and creating space for clear thinking. After the breathing, move into a brief visualization. Close your eyes and see the day you want. Not a vague hope, a specific picture. Where are you at noon? What have you accomplished? How do you feel at 9 p.m. when you look back? Run through it like a short film in your mind. 3 to 5 minutes is enough.
This practice isn't mystical. It's neurological. Visualization activates the same brain regions as actually acting. You're literally rehearsing your day before it begins. Athletes do it before every competition. You're doing it every morning. After visualization, open a journal. It doesn't need to be fancy. A plain notebook works perfectly. Write down 3 things. 1, what you're grateful for today. 2, the single most important thing you need to accomplish. 3, 1 sentence about who you're choosing to be today. That's it. No lengthy entries, no pressure to be profound. These 3 prompts anchor you. They remind you of what's good, what matters, and who you are. By 4:50 a.m., your mind is calm, clear, and pointed in a direction. Chapter 4. 5 a.m. The Deep Work Block. This is the centerpiece of your war room routine. This is where the magic happens. From 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., you enter deep work mode. 2 full hours of focused, uninterrupted effort on the one thing that matters most. Not email, not responding to messages, not planning, researching, or organizing. The thing. Your most important, highest value task. You know what it is. It's the thing you keep telling yourself you'll get to when life settles down. The book you're writing, the business you're building, the skill you're developing, the project that could change your trajectory. You get to it now at 5 a.m. while the world is still asleep and nothing can interrupt you. Here's how to protect this block. Before you sit down, write your one task on a sticky note or a piece of paper. Put it where you can see it. This is a physical cue that pulls your focus back every time your mind wants to wander. Set a timer for 50 minutes. Work only on that one task. When the timer goes off, take a 10-minute break. Walk around, stretch, breathe. Then set the timer again and go back in. In 2 hours, you'll complete roughly 2 of these focused cycles, and you'll be amazed at how much you move forward. Turn off your Wi-Fi if you don't need it. Put your phone in another room. Remove every possible distraction before you start, not during. Here's why this block is a game changer. The average person spends their best mental hours reacting to emails, news, social feeds, and other people's needs. You're flipping that. You're spending your sharpest mental hours creating, building, and moving your own life forward. Over months and years, that difference is massive. By 7 a.m., you've done real work. Not busy work, real, meaningful, momentum-building work. And the day hasn't even properly started yet. Chapter 5. 7 a.m. The Body. Your mind has been doing the heavy lifting for 3 hours. Now it's your body's turn. From 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., you move. This doesn't need to be a 2-hour gym session. 30 to 45 minutes of intentional physical activity is enough to transform your energy, your mood, and your focus for the rest of the day. Choose what fits your life and your goals. A run outside if the weather allows, a workout at the gym,
A yoga or stretching session at home? Body weight training in your living room? The format matters less than the consistency. What matters is that you're pushing your body in some way every morning without negotiation.
Here's what happens when you exercise early. Your brain releases endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin, the trifecta of feel good, feel clear, feel motivated chemicals. Your stress hormones drop. Your focus sharpens. Your mood lifts. You walk into the rest of your day with a completely different internal state than someone who skipped it. And there's a confidence effect too. When you've already overcome physical discomfort by 7:30 a.m., the day's challenges feel smaller. You've already proved something to yourself before most people have eaten breakfast. After your workout, prioritize recovery. Shower or freshen up. Eat something real. Protein, healthy fats, whole foods. Your brain and body are building materials from what you put in. This isn't the moment for a quick coffee and nothing else. By 8 a.m., you've moved your body, fed it well, and you feel good. That's not an accident. It's a result.
Chapter 6, 8 a.m. Review and Alignment. You've got 1 hour left in your war room window before the world fully arrives. Use it to prepare, not react. Sit down with your day in front of you. Look at your calendar, your task list, your commitments. But here's the key. Don't just look at what's on the list. Decide what matters. Ask yourself these 3 questions. First, what 3 things, if completed today, would make the day a success? Not 10 things, not 15. 3. Write them down and circle the most important one. Second, where are the energy drains today? The meetings, the conversations, the tasks that cost more than they give. How can you minimize or prepare for them? Third, what do you need to let go of today? The grudge, the worry, the perfectionism, the task you've been dragging forward that doesn't actually need to be done. Let it go. This review block is your command center moment. You're looking at the battlefield and deciding your strategy before it begins, not running around in it already confused. At 8:30 a.m., send the messages or take the actions that need to happen first thing. Be intentional. Answer what needs answering, start what needs starting, and leave the rest until later. By 8:50 a.m., you take 5 minutes of pure silence again. This is a reset before the full day hits. Breathe. Check in with yourself. Remind yourself of who you're choosing to be today. Chapter 7, 9 a.m. Enter the day. It's 9 a.m. 5 hours have passed since your alarm went off. In those 5 hours, here's what you've done. You won the first battle of the day, the one with the snooze button. You gave your mind space through silence and journaling. You put in 2 hours of deep work on what matters most. You moved your body and fueled it properly. And you reviewed your day with intention, not panic. The average person has barely had their first coffee by now. You've already lived a life most people only plan for. This is what the war room routine does. It doesn't just change your mornings, it changes your relationship with yourself. You start to trust yourself more. You stop relying on motivation, which comes and goes, and start relying on structure, which holds when motivation disappears. Over days, this builds. Over weeks, it compounds. Over months, you look back and barely recognize the version of yourself who used to drift through mornings without purpose. Let me leave you with this. You don't need to be a morning person to do this. You don't need perfect willpower or some elite level of discipline. What you need is a decision. One decision made before you go to sleep tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to try. That's it. Just try. Start with one block. Maybe it's just the journaling. Maybe it's just the deep work hour. You don't have to do all 5 hours at once.
but start somewhere real and build from there. The war room isn't built in a day. It's built one morning at a time. So set your alarm, put your phone across the room, and when it goes off tomorrow, count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rise. Your best day is waiting on the other side of that moment.
If this routine spoke to you, don't let it stop here. Hit subscribe so you never miss a new session, because every week we drop a fresh audiobook designed to help you grow, shift your mindset, and build the life you actually want. And if you got value from this today, share it with one person who needs to hear it. You might just change their morning and their life. I'll see you in the next one.